Some of the issues we were having were time entry, posting, and we wanted to improve our data entry. Timesheet processing was painful. We had over 400 timesheets, and I'm just talking, we're just looking at the production side of our company. We're just looking at the generation side of the company. This is not utility side. This is not the customer service side or the facilities. This is just at our power plants. We generated over 400 timesheets a day. This is paperwork. Somebody had to sit down and enter, I did this at this work order on this operation, and then, calculate, I've got 10 hours. If I'm on a 12-hour shift, I got 12 hours. We had to print this. Cost money to print, cost money for the paper, cost money for the labor to get them distributed. They were manually completed by the crew foreman. So the crew foreman had to find, sometimes he has a crew of 10, sometimes, 12 people. Maybe that day he only worked on 5 different work orders and maybe had about 8 different operations, or maybe 3 to 4 different operations. The timesheet gets very, very lengthy if you want accurate time postings. So what is he going to do? He takes that one work order and puts everything to the first operation. Takes that second work order, puts everything to the second operation. Not very accurate. Not very accurate. It's kind of hard to get your cost. And now after he finishes them, he signs them and he sends them over to the plant manager. It was a plant manager's responsibility to review these work orders. We have 5 different plants. So now I've got, maybe 75 different timesheets. At the end of the day, me, the plant manager, I'm needing to get home, go out. So what am I going to do? I'm going to rubber stamp each timesheet and timesheet. I'm going to rubber stamp. I'm not really going to review it. I send this timesheet over to, on the way out of the office, he puts his timesheet down. There's the stack of timesheets. Somebody in the clerical staff picks these timesheets up and they enter them in SAP, and they're approved. This is approved time. There's no going back. There's no changing this time. This is approved time. Anytime we had to change time, repair time, to rectify a wrong entry, actually it had to be manually done. So that was a painstaking process. Really painstaking process. CAT's time entry. Does anybody use CAT's time entry? Okay. That's what we're currently using. We use CAT's time entry. That takes the time, it posts it on a database in HR, and then at the end of the day we run a batch job to update all our work orders. So we're getting updated work orders at the end of the day, so that in the morning when the schedulers come in, they can look and they can see, what's been completed, what's been done, how much time has been charged, to see if we're on schedule. So they'd have to wait till the next day. Sometimes it would take up to, say they'd missed the timesheets that day. Sometimes it would take up to 36 hours, a day and a half later, to get updated times. We have the ability to schedule at 30-minute intervals, and it doesn't do any good when our updates are not coming in till a day and a half later. Kind of defeats the purpose. And again, time entry correction was a painful process. It was painful, time-consuming, cost us a lot of money. The other thing that we were doing, crew foreman would update a spreadsheet. Yes. Why? Because they were adverse to us. They didn't want to go into SAP. They were doing is they were updating a spreadsheet, a huge spreadsheet. Has the work order, has the operation, long text, what you did, how much time you worked on it today. Again, plant manager looked at this spreadsheet. He pushed it over to a clerical staff. This clerical staff personnel would now enter it into SAP, go into IW 38, bring up a list of work orders, update work orders. Painful process. A lot of duplication of data entry, and there was a lot of chances for wrong data entry. Planners and schedulers would now review and correct incorrect data. Yeah, they'd go in there and they'd look and say, how can they charge 10 hours to this operation? It's supposed to be a 1-hour operation. They got 10 guys on the crew, somebody fat finger data entry here. So then now the schedulers would have to review the data to make sure it's correct. And then the schedule was updated and released. Painful process.